Hello, mate.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Hello, matey. How are we?
Sorry, I'm trying to get my video on. Hang on a second. How are we?
Very well. How's the weather your end?
It's a bit dull. Yeah, a little bit dull. Let me just let these guys in. Okay. How are? We'll start in just a minute. Welcome to everybody. This practice your pitch event. We haven't got a set up format today. It's more who wants to pitch can pitch. We're looking at sort of 3 to 5 minute pitches. You can share your screen and such like. If you've got a pitch deck, if not, you can just have a chat. The whole idea of this is to help you gain confidence, get some advice on your pitch deck, what you're doing and such like. Oopsie daisy, I lost them. Okay, sorry. There we go. Oops, Josie's gone again. Okay, sorry, we're just getting some people on board here. Right, welcome everybody again. Sorry about that. Oopsie daisy. These, for guys who don't, and girls who don't know me, my name's Neil Davis. I'm founder of Exponential Events. My contact information is up there at the moment. I'll send a copy of this over during the meeting in the chat format. We've got chat open, so anybody got any questions going forward, please feel free to pop them in there. But as I say, we'll open up the floor or the platform to people who want to pitch as we go along. Hi, Ewan, welcome. Did you want to pitch today?
Yeah, I'd be interested in hearing some feedback, if that's okay.
Sure. Yeah, no problems at all. As I say, we haven't got a set format for today, so it's those who want to pitch basically. What we've got, I've got my business partner on the line, Craig Martin. He runs a private equity fund. He's based in Dubai.
Hello, everybody.
He'll be giving some constructive comments, I hope, to people as we go along.
Constructive. So
always constructive. And then what I'll do is again as we go on later on, I'll run you through our ideas, our comments that we've learned over the years from doing events, from capital raising events in the city for the last 3 years. The major pitfalls of general pitches that we receive, and I'll also put on what we consider to be the key 11 points that should be in a pitch slide. It doesn't necessarily mean to say it's 11 pages. And again, we stress that initial pitches, the ones we do when we're raising or we're holding our pitch capital raising events, are normally 3 to 5 minutes. It don't need to be any longer. And I'll explain more on that one later on. So we'll get underway. Ewan, do you want to go first? I've lost you there. I'll just stop sharing this now for a second. Right. Mute. Okay. Ewan, can you hear me? I seem to. Craig, can you hear me?
Yes. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
you,
fine. Right.
you must be warming up,
Yeah,
doing some exercises, some stretches.
doing some
Hey,
there's
how's it
Alex. Yeah, good, Alex. I got your email just before we went online. Yeah, no problems at all. I'll tell you what. As Ewan's not there, do you want to start, Alexi?
I might as well.
Yeah. Okay. I'll turn off my bits and pieces, and if you just introduce yourself to everybody, and we will.
Let me go ahead and try to share the screen and see if that works.
Yeah, that's good.
Can you see it there?
Yes, we can.
All right, right on. All right, so my name is Alex Merkin, and I'm a founder and CEO of AI Bunny. We make fintech software that manages portfolios. So here goes the pitch. How many of you wanted to have a professionally managed portfolio but didn't want to pay the fees? How many of you have a professional portfolio manager you could trust? What if I told you it's possible to achieve this with a piece of software? At AI Bunny, so the problem is that there's poor quality AI models right now and lack of AI as a service offerings in the fintech space and lack of systematic investment advice apps. Our solution is to deliver an application that can service consumer need for professionally managed portfolios and deliver a backend system for our B2B clients where machine learning is used to generate precision trade signals for US equity market. And we plan to expand our offering into other space like the European and Asian equities. Huge global retail investment market, direct online investment platforms. There's a market opportunity for people interested in obtaining investment advice in the UK market. Even though the market did shrink a little bit, this data unfortunately is a little bit outdated, but the market did shrink a little bit in 2019. But overall, it shows a really good dynamic. We'll see what happens after this year because this year's stats obviously aren't in, and it's interesting to see what kind of impact this COVID crisis will have on revenues in this space. So, I mean, we're pre-seed right now, and our marketing strategy is very basic. We basically plan to use social media and expo presence and mostly target our B2B customers in the beginning. And we're using a data as a service business model. Part of it is subscription-based, and B2B is information as a service. We've developed proprietary technology, predictive analytics across equities. We plan to offer REST API access to our solution and expand our solution to include NLP and deep learning to achieve better precision. Our competition is big hedge funds, but they require significant investment and overcharge on fees. I mean, obviously, people like Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan are in this space right now, but you know, far and few people can actually afford to do business with them. The fintech app providers, the space is pretty wide open. There's a lack of systematic AI-powered investment solution in the space. And brokerage houses, they really don't do any kind of DevOps in the space. Usually they try to buy a ready-made solution. So this is our space in terms of competition. Why is our solution better? We plan to deliver a versatile and flexible product with an API. Our solution allows B2B customers to deliver faster time to market for their customers. And our proprietary algorithm generates a data stream compatible with most popular machine learning algorithms. This is our basic go-to-market plan. I'm not going to go too much deep into it. You can see for yourself. And I'm a developer with vast experience in algorithmic trading. I have a artificial intelligence with Python nano degree, and I'm an expert at using various tech that is and APIs that are required to implement this project. We're pre-seed, so we're looking to raise our SACE round, SCIS round. This is the offer that we're making to the investors. We are right in the middle of this timetable here, and basically the current crisis kind of put a stick into our wheels, so we have to take a pause from the project for a little bit. And this is the cost. Basically, we're looking, the reason that we're looking for 150,000 is because we want to set up payroll for the year. And basically, labor and overhead is going to be 120 grand. And there's some minor costs other than the labor and overhead. And we actually plan to do another round within 6 months because our MVP is up. The link to it is on the first page. Ultimately, all we need to do is beautify the interface, make the interface first grade, because I'm not technically my background is back-end development, so I'm not a big front-end guy. And basically, we're looking to put together a team of 2 to be able to attack this thing full-time, make a first-class interface, just make this thing jive. Thanks for your time.
Alex, thanks very much.
Okay, how do I unshare this? Oh, there you go.
There you go. Sorted.
Do I?
Okay, great. I suppose we start with Craig. Craig, any questions, comments for Alex?
Yeah, I have a few. Just in terms of data to go in there, because it's US equity only. Who's your target market? Obviously, you mentioned that it was B2B predominantly, but B2B where? Are you targeting US institutionals, or is it UK-based institutionals? That would have been a key component I would have liked to have seen there.
Well, we're going to be targeting the UK, obviously, because it ultimately, for us to add another set of equities into the system, it doesn't really entail anything other than just having access to the data, which is ultimately very cheap. It's just that you know, the models were built around the U.S. equities because they're the easiest to deal with and the cheapest in terms of getting the data.
Sure.
But so for the purposes of the demo, it's sufficient. You know what I mean? But to expand into like UK equities or European equities, it's just a matter of having the good feed, the data feed that, you know, ultimately boils down to what you need in order to generate the good interface for this.
That would be an
You
interesting.
want to basically, you want to, because the way that the MVP is right now, it's basically on a dead feed. There's no live data on it. It's just contained, you know what I mean? All the data that it's using, it's basically in the database and it's not getting a live feed of any kind.
Sure.
So, and that's ultimately what we want to do is integrate live feed of all types of equities into it. And the feed is just expensive. And we ultimately need to have some sort of.
Obviously the product for market's not been, it's not fully developed. But have you guys done some back end tests on the advisory and what sort of returns that it's producing?
Well, I mean, obviously you can look through the thing and but more or less over a 12-year period that we have covered, it produced the better ones of it produced roughly a 14% return CAGR. That's including going through the crash. You know, so I mean that's by far better than the S&P.
Can you benchmark that?
Well, the S&P is 8.5. It's S&P roughly, you know, in the last. If you take like a serious chunk of, it's like 8.5, 8.6, depending on what chunk you're looking at, you know. So, I mean, it's not double, but it's serious in terms of the performance.
Yes, so the tech in terms of in-house is proven, and so your advisory arm of it is churning out the numbers at around 14%, yeah.
Well, that's in the simulation. That's
yeah,
in the simulation.
So people are going to want, because that's what people are going to want to know, right? They're going to want to know that when you build that, then it can actually do the numbers and get into the advice. Otherwise, no one's going to buy it, right?
Well, I mean, it's just in terms of performance, it's not really that complicated. I mean, if you are able to pick winners, you pick winners, and that's what this algorithm does. You know, it picks winners really good. The difference between having a professional manager could do the same thing. It's just the professional manager will charge you for it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And the amount of money is significant most of the time. And not only that, you still have to make sure that, you know, you get a good one, because some of these managers are, you know, better than others, so to say. You just never know who are you going to get, you know? And
we know only too well. But that's just like I said. It's points for highlighting and promoting, right? To get your point across. So what you're trying to do just now is sell your concept to someone else. So you have to give them that reason to buy into it, and how you're going to achieve that. That's the feedback from my side, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, I got to work on my pitch too. I know. I mean, you don't even have to tell me it's choppy. I can feel that it's choppy, but it's like, you know, I'm a coder. I'm not a.
That's all right. No. The advice when it comes to pitching is you're selling, right? Effectively, you're selling. So let people know what you're selling quickly and get to the gist of it straight away. That's get everyone's attention, and then paint a picture, and then letting them piece the other pieces together as you go through it. Neil, if you get any feedback.
Sorry, I've just turned my mic back on. No, I think, yeah, again, as you say, it's choppy. We'll cover a little bit later on. probably needs to be more to the point. Some of the wordings like in there that, or terms people might necessarily understand, which you do. So you have to make it clear to the people when you're pitching what ABC is or RNI is or whatever the thing might be. Yeah, don't assume that people understand necessary investment tech or your specific industry terms, because they might not. That's what I just say there.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I'm hoping for is that the investors, they know all about making portfolios. So
yeah,
they could appreciate my skill.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but it's two-sided here. One, you're looking for an investor, an investment, and then obviously the market side is investors. Yeah. So you've got to explain to the potential investor in your company where you're at, what you're up to, and they might be an investor, but they might not fully understand all terms and such like. Yeah.
All right, right on.
Okay, no problems. I put on a chat who wants to pitch today, so feel free just to say, yeah, I want to have a chat, or I'll introduce myself, whatever we're doing, and such like. So this is a very relaxed, open forum here, so we're here to help, and that's what we're going to do. If anybody else has got any comments that they'd like to make on any of the pitches, please feel free just to jump on after the pitch and ask any questions or make any points that you want. Again, we're here to help each other. Ewan, are you ready?
Hi Neil. Yeah, I can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Can do.
I'll let you introduce yourself as usual, and then I'll just stop this off and you carry on.
Cool. Thank you. So I pitched this a week or so ago, just over a week ago, I think, for the first time, and hadn't actually practiced it in front of anyone else. So I'm curious to get some feedback on my pitch. Thank you very much. I will start it now. Let me just share my screen, and it will come through. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Which now that should have shared my screen, I believe.
Yeah, we've got it.
You've got it now. So, okay. So, hi. Good afternoon. My name is Ewan Dickey. I am the founder and CEO of Punk Money, the ethical community finance platform. We are SCIS and EIS advance assured, and we are raising £500,000 to finalise development of our platform and take it to market by the end of 2020. Okay, according to data published by the FCA, 50% of the UK population are currently living in financial hardship, with over 16 million of us having less than 100 quid in our bank accounts, and over 1/3 of UK households currently living paycheck to paycheck. For them, a cash flow problem isn't just an issue, it's a crisis. And with the events of COVID-19, this crisis is going to be very real for millions of people very soon. Also, at the same time in the UK, we have over £760 billion currently sitting in easy access savings accounts, just sat in the bank, trapped in these institutions who profit from it themselves while you earn less than 1% interest. The average is 0.6% interest. Punk Money is the revolutionary community loans platform that frees up people's spare cash and puts it to work as fair, affordable, short-term community loans direct from one person to another. We empower normal people to be the bank and to become the lenders. You could think of it a bit like an Airbnb for your spare cash, putting it to work so that you can earn a profit from it. On our platform, borrowers can quickly access from £100 to £1,000 for terms up to a year. Open banking allows us to connect directly into the user's bank accounts, and our live budget analysis helps users understand their finances and set achievable repayment goals that are flexible if required. These are low risk and fully insured loans, which are on average 80% cheaper than a payday alternative. Our lenders can invest from as little as £100 and are instantly matched with borrowers who fit their criteria for a projected annual return of 10%. That's 10 times more than you'd earn in a savings account, 5 times higher than an ISA, and over double what other peer-to-peer platforms are able to offer. We can do this because our unique business model doesn't work in the same way as other lenders. Our income comes from a small monthly platform fee on outstanding loans. This keeps the cost of the initial loan low and gives us the flexibility to restructure the loans if required. All interest is paid directly back to the lender, clear, transparent, and easy to calculate. We're partnering with FICO to create a custom credit and risk model specifically for our users. Using real transactional data from our exact demographics, we'll build an AI model that predicts pain points before they happen and assists our users in making repayments when it's affordable instead of penalising them for paying late. We also add insurance to each loan that goes directly into a community fund, a fail-safe that protects our lenders' cash if the worst happens and a borrower is unable to repay. And unlike other peer-to-peer platforms, Punk Money doesn't need a secondary market. Our loans are short and will generally be repaid within 90 days, so lenders can withdraw their cash if they need to. Punk Money is currently working towards generating early traction and pre-sign-ups via our website and already has a significant social media following. User feedback shows that people love our proposition and are interested in signing up. We've seen a 100% increase in followers during lockdown, and we will be increasing engagement over the next few weeks with a goal of having 20,000 signups before going live. Punk Money will significantly disrupt the high-cost short-term credit market by replacing it with fair and ethical lending instead. This market is currently worth £11 billion in the UK and over £5 trillion globally. Trailblazers in similar markets have already achieved valuations in billions, proving there's a demand and an appetite for digital challenges that solve real-world consumer needs. As an example, if Punk Money was the same size as Funding Circle, we'd be making around £270 million in revenue annually with the low overheads of an agile online business and a truly scalable product. We have a team of highly experienced and motivated industry experts who are committed to the project and dedicated to the cause, with a host of influential advisors and supporters who share our vision. In times of COVID-19 and with the uncertain economic future, there's a real need for a platform like Punk Money. Now more than ever, people's finances are going to be pushed to the limit and we've not even started to feel the true impact yet. Punk Money is looking for experienced and engaged angels who are looking for an ambitious and truly disruptive startup to back. We are SCIS and EIS advance assured and raising £500,000 with 10% already committed to finalise our MVP and launch by the end of 2020. This has been Punk Money and we want you to join us on the mission. You can email me here or find out more on the website link as well. Thanks for your time. I'm Ewan Dickey, founder and CEO of Punk Money.
Ewan, thanks very much.
Okay.
That was great. Anybody got any comments other than Craig at the moment? I see, Mike, you're on board. Do you want to mention anything here? If not, no problems. Not coming there. Ewan, what for the raise? What are you offering? Or are you running a seed fast concept?
I'll be running a seed fast concept, to be honest.
Okay. Do you want to explain that to? I think it obviously I know what it is. You know what it is. I think it, like the last slide or something, should be that.
Okay.
Because obviously certain investors, when they're looking at things, they're looking at, you know, what you're offering, what you're asking, and what you're offering.
Yeah.
If I didn't know, you know, it makes it more difficult in that sense. I mean,
So just sort of explain what it is.
Yeah, just have a little thing saying, you know, we're raising seed fast, which is equivalent to a convertible note, whatever, or convertible equity thing, and with a future raise in 12, 18 months or whatever it might be. Yeah.
Yeah. And when the next raise is due to be.
Yeah, or a drop off point in the future where that convert anyway.
Yeah.
Basically, for anybody who doesn't know, we're holding a ready event on Wednesday, the 10th, again on Zoom, and it's all on our website, and I'll send the information on that later. We have Sea Legals, who are one of our partners. They go through all the what you need to do a raising or to do a funding round, or at this moment in time, the seed fast element, which is basically gives you as a company the ability to raise capital now and issue shares at a later date, normally at some sort of discount. There is a more complicated way of doing it, which is a note, which is again on the webinar with Seed Legals. Isabella will explain how they do that, what they're doing. Seed Legals have got 20-odd thousand startup companies on their books. They run the largest amount of funding rounds in the UK by far. So it's well worth, if you've not attended one of those webinars, to turn up on, I think it's 12 o'clock on Wednesday. Again, it's free, and you get some invaluable advice there as well. What's this, Tony Lee? Sorry, Tony, there's a question there from Tony Lee. Is it online at the moment for me to take a quick look at? I'm not sure if you're referring there to Ewan's pitch or not.
So yeah, Tony, you're referring to the pitch, or the prototype isn't online to take a look at, but there is more information on our website in terms of the pitch and kind of a pitch video version of what I just gave you, essentially.
Do you want to just type your website into the chat? And feel free, if you want to share the deck via the file upload on chat.
Yeah, I'll just add a few points. I thought it was a very good pitch again, Ewan. Very impressive. A few points in there that you might want to add, that potential investors might want to know. The fully insured part of the loans. He might be a bit busy. I don't know if he's listening. He might be busy typing.
Yeah, I'm listening.
So that's all right. The fully insured part for the loans. Have you got an insurance provider lined up to do that in place?
So no, it's sort of self-insured. It's a community insurance. So it's a central fund which we're setting up as Punk Money, which is insuring the people on the.
Okay, so it's like a slush fund for non-performing loans, effectively. Right. No problem. And how much of the capital needs to be set aside for that? So the capital which needs to be set aside to that will be, it's dependent on the risk factor of each person. So as we grow, it will be 10% per person set aside for the higher risk category individuals, and as we grow and develop the platform, we'll be looking to set aside different sums per user in their specific risk category. And I don't know if you can get this information or not. If you can find a percentage of typical non-performing loans in your sector, and highlight what you think the level that you can get your non-performing loans to be and show the difference, that would be something that it would be a good visual if you can do it. I'm not sure if it's possible.
Sure, yeah, I've got that data, so I could create something that shows it.
I'll pop something and give yourself a pat on the back for creating something different. That's what I would do. And one more thing is, it says that the FCA approval has been applied for. When did you apply for that?
We applied for it originally last year. We've currently put it on a slight pause, but it will be picked up again. Now, the reason that it's on pause is because they have a finite sort of runway which you have to finalize the approval by. And so we've just paused it whilst we're continuing to do the development, so it didn't run out. Secondly, as well, the FCA approval for Punk Money isn't fully required for us to actually launch the product, but we're intending to get it anyhow, because it is of course, an added element of security for the platform, for all of our users, etc. as well.
Yeah, I know these things can be a bit fiddly. We've certainly experienced that in the past. But apart from that, no, that was all the points I had. It was very well developed.
Oh, cool. Thank you. Okay.
Ewan, thanks very much again.
Well, thank you.
Ivan, are you there? I note you've. There we go.
Yeah, I'm here and I will share my screen right now. Then.
Okay, I'll let you carry on and I'll close this off for now. There you go. Off.
Right. So, hi everybody. I'm Ivan, founder of Face On, company that allows you to choose your personality on a video stream. People like video masks, like the ones you can see in Instagram and Snapchat. However, this is very hard to create masks by yourself. Top mask technologies are not able to support video streaming on phone, and video streaming platforms itself still suffer from poor performance. As a solution, we introduced Face On technology, which allows you to create a new personality mask for you and your friends to use in just one click. Add a picture of any personality in your app and start filming. It's that easy. Here I just uploaded one photo of David Bowie, turned on my selfie camera and had a lot of fun pretending to be a rock star. Our technology also allows you to video stream using your own personality mask, which is not possible with any app or website at the moment. Imagine talking to your friend over Skype and being able to switch 10 different personas as you go. This is what makes us unique. There is no other technology at the moment which allows you to do that. Another nice surprise for our B2B clients is traffic optimization. This is a big deal for video stream platforms. We solve it by sending only how your face expression changed and not the whole picture. This allows to reduce video platform traffic by 95%. And people are ready to pay for it. Our business model is based on two concepts: B2C app with freemium model and B2B partnership with social networks, video chat, and video stream platforms. Let's start with B2C. This is standard freemium app where we charge €2 per month for opportunity to use custom photos as a mask for your video. This gives €200,000 per month, giving 100,000 active subscribers. And of course, since our technology is state-of-the-art, there is opportunity to license and sell it to other businesses. We see social networks and video streaming platforms as our potential clients to use Face-On technology on a license basis. Let's look a little bit at our potential social network B2B clients. Snapchat AR lenses, TikTok, and Instagram masks all shown great impacts on customer engagement. It is also pretty useful for businesses using this platform for advertising. But we are not only looking at existing markets. Video chat and stream platforms have tens of millions daily active users. We want to bring personality masks there as well. Other companies in this market had shown to be very successful. In the last years, two of them were acquired by Snapchat with valuation of more than 150 million each, and third one got 6 million in Series A round investment and was top one downloaded app in App Store. A little bit about how we plan to go to market. Our go-to-market strategy for the app consists of 3 key components: collaboration with celebrities on such stream platforms as TikTok, Snapchat, YouTube, and Twitch, ads on the same social networks customers can post their content on, and viral videos and posts created to show the fun and joy our product can bring. At the moment, we are the only company which brings the ability to add masks to video streams on phone. Other companies either focus only on photo content or do not allow to use that functionality on phone. Here's our roadmap for 2020. As you can see, we are currently in the stage of finalizing our Android app, which will be released in August to Play Store. Also in parallel, we are starting our development for iOS. Next steps include significant boost of technology performance. So in the beginning of 2021, we can start to integrate with our B2B clients. Our estimation is that with proper marketing campaign, we will be able to get at least 10 million of downloads for Android and iOS in the first 2 months, which in return will provide us with revenue of around 100,000 euro per month for the 2020. To reach our goals, we need around 114,000 euro in seed investment. This money will go mainly to marketing, to create viral effect around our apps, iOS development, and building powerful data science team. And last but not least, I want to talk about the team that we have. I have 2 amazing co-founders, Alexandra, who has combined great management skills and data science experience, and Igor, who is also extremely smart researcher. Both of them are winners of various programmer competitions. I know them for many years, and we have very awesome synergy within our team. I will be happy to answer your questions, and if you have any questions later, feel free to reach out to us via email on the slide.
Ivan, thanks very much. Where are we? Craig, all over to you for now. Ivan, sorry, just before Craig says it, where is the company based?
Right. So currently we basically have 3 people, and one of them is based in Russia, and 2 of us are based here in Berlin. So,
Okay.
yeah, so it's not UK based company.
Okay, so where the company is based in Germany, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, so hence the euros and
Yeah,
such
yeah.
like. Okay, I'd just like to make a couple of points here, and there's so much on the pitch deck, but raising money in the UK for startup companies is obviously extremely beneficial if you've got SEIS approval. In fact, it's more or less vital. Obviously, if you're raising for a company that's not in the UK, that doesn't, or in the past, it maybe was more difficult. But because capital raising events now are global through going virtual, there's plenty of investors worldwide who are looking at alternative, private equity investments. I don't know, Ivan, if there's an advantage for investors in Germany investing in German companies, is there, or German startups?
Yeah, so as I said, yeah, we are currently based in Germany, but this is more in terms of geography, because we didn't finish going through, legal process, so we can create a company in UK if it's more profitable for investors to invest in UK-based company.
Okay. What about IP and trademarks and such like? Is anything there at the moment?
No.
That's an important thing to budget into the capital requirements that you've got, because if it's proprietary technology that you've created, or you're going to focus on building a brand, then it's a really important aspect that Neil just touched on.
Yeah. So we were thinking about going to patents, but at the same time it takes a very long time. So you mentioned trademarks, and another thing that you mentioned, Neil, that you mentioned, what was that?
Yeah, patents-based intellectual property, both patent.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hi, Mike. Thanks for that message there. Is that to Ivan or to Ewan at Punk? Sorry. Ivan. Okay, thanks. There's a in the chat there, Ivan. There's a message from Mike Watson.
Yeah.
I'll let you deal with that. So if you send the information over to Mike.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to, anybody, as I say before, if you want to put your pitch deck, upload it via the file here, you can. In chat, I don't know how. This is just, again, going forward and such, so when we do actual real pitch events, getting used to using Zoom or whatever platform we're using, mainly Zoom. There's the ability in chat to just send a file to Mike, or just to upload your whole pitch deck. And if you just click on the little file thing there down at the bottom, where it says to, I mean, I might be teaching you to suck eggs, but to, and you can everyone, or pick a person that's in the meeting and then click the file and it'll upload it for them.
There's a question coming. No.
Yeah, what roles is each person assuming? Yeah, so so currently there are 3 people, and basically I am working as a CEO of a company as it is at the moment, and Alexandra, since she has great management skills and experience with going with products and applying AI technologies to the products. She's working as CPO, and Igor, who has the greatest technical skills, is working as our CTO. This is I think it's mostly about how it works in terms of how we spread the work. Yeah.
Okay. Craig, have you got any more comments on for Ivan?
Just when it came to the 114,000 euros requirements, obviously as soon as you become quite specific like that, when you require, people are going to start touching on the equity that they're looking to receive for that. Have you?
Sorry, I couldn't hear you very well.
Okay. You highlighted that there was 114,000 euros was the raise.
Yeah.
Quite a specific number. So the potential investors would obviously be wanting to break down on that and then start touching on perceived valuations, unless you were doing some sort of convertible or safe note beyond the basic metrics.
Yeah. We didn't put. So we basically asked that for 10% equity. We didn't put it on slide. I will fix that, of course.
You don't necessarily have to. It's a question point that often comes up, and valuations are subjective. We all know that, and they're not set in stone. It was just from a curiosity point of view. The other point I would put is obviously a lot of the money was going to be spent on social media, and with regards to route to market, really drumming down on how you're going to achieve that is important for any potential investor. You're looking to come into a company. Social marketing media is social media marketing. Should I say, is quite broad as a topic, really. Funneling down how that spend will be spread across the different channels and how it will make an impact and what you're trying to do helps me get my head around what the money will be used for.
Yes, of course. I will definitely add that.
That's all for me, Neil.
All right, great. Ivan, thanks very much. As I say, if you do want to share your pitch deck on there, then fine. If not, obviously get hold of Mike. Now, at the moment, I'm not sure who's around, who obviously is in the meeting, who else would like to have a chat about what they're up to. Is there anybody out there who would like to talk to us? Robin, where are you, sir? Or madam?
Here.
Ah, there, right. Welcome. I'll let you carry on as per everybody else. Introduce yourself and what you're up to, and we'll have a chat.
Cool. What I might do is share my screen, if that works.
Yeah, that's sure. No problems at all.
Oh yeah, there we go. No. Hopefully that'll be it.
Not
No.
yet.
Sorry, trying to record my screen there.
You should be able to, at the bottom there, Robin, click on the share the screen, and then it should come up with which bit you want to share, depending on what you've got open.
Google Chrome. Share. Yes. I think I might have to log off and on again.
Okay.
My settings. So I'll just do that right now. 1 sec.
All right. No problems. Yeah, hi Marshall. I'll just send you a message back. You can come on after Robin's come back from the. Ewan, also sorry, just to come back to your pitch. Can you email me any financials you've got and such like, please? I'll just put my email up here. Thanks. Okay. Oh, hang on, I've got to let him back in. Okay. Excuse me. Right.
That's advice, Neil, for all startups when they're pitching. Be prepared. Be prepared for it to go wrong, and don't panic. That's
I mean
always the case
whole,
in these things.
Yeah, the purpose of these practice sessions and such like is, I mean, to get things, get people as comfortable as possible with the technology, let alone obviously just talking to people as well. But Robin, you're back.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. I hadn't ever authorized Zoom for some reason to share like this.
Oh,
so
okay. Now we're learning.
The good thing, this is just a practice.
Exactly. That's the whole purpose.
Okay, that should hopefully work now.
We've got you. That's fine.
This is a kind of little bit of a work in progress. This deck is actually more of a reading deck than a presentation deck, so I might skim over some of the slides pretty quickly just to get the message across. So yeah, like I said, this is the sort of first run at it, and yeah, those are my excuses out the way up front. Let's do it. So Trika is it's a web platform basically for the well-being space. Currently, the well-being space is quite disjointed and ugly. It's got all sorts of poorly executed websites, social media, people using various channels like Eventbrite to organize their events, meetups, directory sites, etc. It's basically a bit of a mess. Here's an example of some of the ugly websites that the various kind of practitioners, be they coaches, yoga teachers, etc., are coming up with at the moment. Basically, they're generally old-fashioned, inefficient, badly designed, and way too much clicking. On the client side, well-being itself has never been more popular. It's never been more on trend, particularly so now. If it needed a boost, the current pandemic situation has given it that. However, people know that there's all sorts of activities that they can. If we look at well-being as preventative medicine, that includes everything for your mind, body, and spirit. That's kind of the overarching concept. There's so many different possibilities of activities that you can undertake. It's kind of knowing what to do and where to start and what's right for you. And then once you do start, indeed, to kind of keep going with that. So that's the problem for the client side, the student side, if you will. The solution is Trika. It's a complete ecosystem for well-being. So it's your one-stop shop that gives you, the user, a community of people that you can connect with on a similar journey, access to leading coaches and teachers, webinars, as well as access to offline events and one-to-one sessions when that becomes relevant again, retreats, studios, and a complete well-being toolkit, which is a free-to-use set of tools for users. Things like an online journaling tool, an online vision board tool, these kind of tools that are kind of generally at the moment kind of more like you get the odd one in the kind of app store, but there's no kind of one place to find them all, and one place, one go-to site for bringing this all together. And that's the real opportunity for Trika. The monetization strategy is it's a sort of simple commission base. When a booking happens on the platform, i.e. when we connect a student with a coach and the booking is made on Trika, we take a cut of it. The brand is beautiful and ready to go. What we're talking about when we consider well-being globally is a huge, huge market. That's a £3.47 trillion a year market globally. In fact, recently, what you might call the well-being market has actually overtaken the healthcare market. So preventative medicine, if you will, is now bigger than medicine. And in the UK, recent figures suggest a £9 billion a year market. That's in terms of the wellness economy. However, if you look at the larger impact of well-being and the opportunity there, is actually, you can see £77.5 billion, which is the cost of chronic disease, work-related injuries and illnesses to the UK. That's a recent University of Cambridge report. And the Department of Health actually puts the figure even bigger at £105.2 billion a year. So as I've mentioned, these are the sort of short, medium, long-term plans for Trika. We've got a wellbeing toolkit, which will be part of the MVP. Webinars, obviously part of the MVP. Corporate wellbeing, coming a little bit further downstream, that's one of our two big business plays. Essentially, from a business perspective, the first play is the sort of standard web platform game of disintermediating Google. So much in the same way at the moment, when you're looking for weekend accommodation in Barcelona, you don't go to Google anymore, you go straight to Airbnb or perhaps booking.com. But you know that for connecting people with accommodation, those are a much better user experience. In the same way, at the moment, there is no go-to platform for finding well-being events, coaches, teachers, etc. People are still going to Google and finding that a very frustrating experience, because Google's great at connecting people with information. It's not so great at connecting people with people and actually enabling those bookings. Online was always going to be a big part of this vision. Obviously, in the current circumstances, it makes sense to bump that up the roadmap. So workshops have been overtaken by webinars. Private sessions have become kind of Zoom style, one-to-one video link ups, which we are going to have sort of embedded in the site itself. And the online community was always going to be the online community. So the technology was going to be an integral part of the vision anyway. It's just a question of reprioritizing it for the current circumstances. I've got sort of 5 or 6 years experience in tech startups. I've got very experienced CTO, likewise product and project manager on board. Got a great UX and UI designer and a couple of really great advisors. We're also looking to flesh out the team in terms of content, marketing, and partnerships. So we're looking to raise 150,000 for an SCIS. Tech will be about a third of that. Team about 40%, and marketing 27% roughly. Those are the figures we have. And that's the pitch. Sorry if it was a bit shaky. What I can do also is just show you a little bit of the prototype that we've developed, because this is probably, pictures speak louder than words. This essentially is the all-important search box. We've got about 100 subcategories of different well-being areas. Like I mentioned, yoga. We don't just have one yoga category. We've got 10 yoga categories. Everything from Vinyasa yoga, Yin yoga, Ashtanga yoga, Rocket yoga. You name it, it's on there. Pilates, counseling, therapies, talking therapies, coaching, life coaching, financial coaching, relationship coaching, etc., etc. And that's one of the 3 types of search that you can conduct here. The other one is if you know the name of a coach, if they've given you a discount voucher, for example, you can type their name in there and that will take you to their profile. And the third type of search that you might conduct, because my background is in search marketing, digital marketing, but very much with a search marketing focus over the years. So I'm always kind of thinking, what are people going to be typing into Google that's going to bring them to the site? So yes, sure, some people know what their kind of chosen solution is, but other people actually know what they're suffering from, what their problem is. And that's the third type of search that you can type into the box there. At the moment, you can see upcoming workshops. For now, obviously, this is going to change to webinars, but envisaging an offline post-corona future, obviously, it makes sense to kind of have that ready to go as well. As I sort of talked about in the deck, the vision for Trika is to have a complete well-being ecosystem where you can access the best leading coaches, teachers. You can book sessions with them, either one-to-one or workshops, stroke webinars. an online community where you can connect with your tribe. I hate to use that word, but whatever you're into, if it's yoga, if it's mindfulness, qigong, whatever it is, where you can kind of share your journey with like-minded individuals. And as I touched upon earlier, the wellbeing toolkit, which is free to use for everyone, which is designed to make this a site that people interact with on a daily basis, whether or not they're looking for an actual coach for a specific purpose or not. Here we have a sort of, this is going to be a rotating selection of the categories that we have on the site, which is going to be informational, but it's also going to be a way of connecting coaches with people who are looking for their services. And yeah, again, great for SEO. And as I mentioned, the third type of search, which is problems, obviously talking to the public, we're going to call them solutions. So you might, I've actually got a bigger list of problems than I do of well-being categories at the moment. And that covers everything from anxiety, back pain, bereavement, low energy, poor circulation, relationship problems. So for each of these, we're connecting that particular challenge with the categories that are suitable on the site. And one of the ways we do that is that when a coach adds a workshop or lists their availability for private sessions, they, as well as talking about their solution, they also can tag the various problems which that will be relevant to. So like that, creating a kind of joining the dots and creating the ecosystem. I don't want to sort of go on about this in too much detail, but I'll just show you some of the other highlights. This is the sort of coach's profile. So the idea is that we're going to replace these shoddy websites with give coaches exactly what they need to offer their services with a really clean, professional web presence. It's free for them to set up, it's free for them to use, and they can start offering themselves. In this case, you could, this is a yoga teacher who is offering workshops, but also typically, so that might be, this is really aimed at independent coaches initially. Those workshops might be, say, in a church hall 3 or 4 times a week or some other venue. But that teacher may also want to offer themselves up for private lessons during the, other times when they have availability. So that's where the availability calendar comes in. You can quickly see when that coach is available, and within about 2 or 3 clicks, you can actually book a session with them, which is one of our USPs, because currently booking one-to-one sessions with anyone, there's a proliferation of sort of coaching style websites, but generally they're just nothing more than a glorified messaging platform. Whereas we've got a very sophisticated back end that will actually enable people to make those bookings almost instantaneously. Like I said, just the kind of standard stuff, the reviews, which gives the kind of credibility and the trust needed to make those bookings. This is the coach dashboard, which is the one-stop shop that replaces the coach's need for having a website, typically a MailChimp mailing list, a PayPal account for taking payments, messaging, all of it is replaced. And in one intuitive, easy to use dashboard, which is this, where they can manage all the different aspects of their account. They can add private sessions, they can add workshops, they can have repeating sessions, one-off workshops, courses, holiday camps, retreats. The idea is that these boxes will be draggable. So depending on where the coach is at in their kind of journey, they can probably drag that calendar up to the top to see what's going on for them. If you want to offer your services to anyone under the age of 18, we ask that the coaches preferably be registered on the DBS update service. As we go to market initially, we'll also accept a valid enhanced DBS check from the last 12 months. There's, to kind of make something like this work, it really is the devil is in the detail. One example of that is the discount code functionality. where a coach can create a code which is a way of them promoting their services to their clients, but also at the same time, obviously, a way of promoting Trika to boot. Messaging is offered as a kind of key part of the platform, so that can be that's peer-to-peer messaging. That can be messaging between a coach and a student or a potential student, but it can also be what we're calling a broadcast, which means the coach can send a message to their students. So that's basically anyone that's either previously booked with them or have self-identified as wanting to follow that coach by clicking here on their profile. This is a workshop page. This is a page for private sessions, again, so you can very quickly see which days that coach has availability. When you click into that, the next stage will be to choose a time slot and book. As I mentioned, devil being in the details, as a coach, you have the option to offer online sessions. If you have a venue that you want to use, it could be your own home. That works for various types of therapists, typically kind of coaches, talking therapists, rather than a group setting. It could also be in a cafe, or it could be in a park. It could be anywhere that the coach wants to add a venue. And the student venue is when the coach is saying that they're willing to travel X number of miles, typically at the moment, to a student's venue. So that's if somebody wants to have a yoga class in their own home, and this yoga teacher says that they're willing to travel X number of miles, and all the right credentials in terms of the time, the venue, etc., that all matches up, then yeah, they can make a booking. Yeah, there's various other pieces of the platform that have been designed and they're waiting to go. There's a team of developers in Serbia waiting to start coding. That's Trika. We're looking to raise, like I said, 150,000 of SCIS. Yeah, we've got the first. We're doing it on seed legals, so we need 1/3 of that pre-committed. I've got some investor meetings coming up this week where I'm hoping to get that first third or so pre-committed, so we can go ahead with that. Yeah, probably lucky that I'm actually practicing this here with you guys now. I'm going to stop sharing. There you go. Thank you.
Robin, thanks very much. A couple of quick questions. I'll come on to pitch in a minute. Are you going to develop an app alongside the website? Or?
Yes. Well, we're building the back end is talking to the front end via an API.
Right.
So ultimately, to have an iOS app and an Android app will just be a question of it's a different front end. So yeah, we will. We're going to obviously build the responsive website first. But yeah, once we've done that and once we've ironed out any niggles, then yeah, it'll just be a question of kind of creating the front skin on the various platforms and connecting it to our back end.
Okay, great. And sorry, what you're raising the 150 SCIS? What on what basis? What offer?
At a £10, 2 million valuation.
A 2 mil val, then?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Craig, are you there? Do you want to have a quick chat with Robin?
Yeah. Well, one thing I forgot to say, the two big business plays, like I said, one is disintermediating Google. So we want to capture a significant percentage of that kind of well-being search that's happening online. The other one is in the corporate well-being space, which is a kind of massive market and growing bigger and bigger. That previously a lot of these independent providers haven't been able to access those markets because they want to have a big brand that they can make a deal with. So they kind of typically do it with Fitness First or whatever and have a kind of subsidized gym membership. By making a corporate deal with Trika, it's a win-win for everyone because it gives access to the coaches, to the corporate market, and the gives access to the corporate market for the independent providers, and also for people who work at those corporates, it gives them a much deeper and broader selection of well-being offerings that they can. So it's not just a gym membership, it's actually, if they're into qigong, if they're into yoga, whatever it is, they can actually find something that's going to work for them. So that's the other kind of big monetization strategy.
Good. Just for there's a few pointers in there. This may be slides that you skip past or didn't add. The revenue or the potential revenue and forecasted revenue. I would like to be able to see what the plans were, and inclusive of that is maybe your client acquisition cost, what you were looking to have that as, and if Eventbrite is your current competitor, so to speak, compare what they charge versus what you're going to charge, and the advantages to obviously going with you guys. From there, I know it's not quite apples with apples, but if that is what you're going up against, maybe.
Yeah. Sure.
Just for the basic layman that doesn't understand, and that's what they deem as the competition.
Yeah. I do have I need, so I wasn't actually planning on, this is kind of a little bit early, but
no, of course.
I thought I'd go through it, sort of get all this mumbling and stuttering out of the way today.
Quite right too. Yeah, just obviously the route to revenue and what you think you can do and how you're going to achieve that. To try and keep that information as short as possible. A couple of slides. This is what we're looking to achieve financially. This is how we're going to do it. Because the biggest hurdles for anyone is acquiring those customers, and how much how much money are you going to burn in doing that, right? To get it to the point where this is viable and kicks on to the next level.
Yeah.
Apart from that, visually it looks really good. Looks really good, and perfect timing given the current situation we're all in.
Yeah, definitely. Robin, thanks very much. Now, where are we going next? Can you just stop sharing your screen there if I think you've done that?
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Marshall, are you there? There we go. Anybody else after Marshall wants to have a chat, please just drop me a message in the chat there and we'll put you up.
Yes, I am indeed. Okay,
great.
Okay, so just to share my screen. 1 sec. Can you guys see my screen?
No, not at the moment.
Not that screen. No?
Not at the moment.
Okay, let me try it again. Screen. Okay, I think it's working. Let me just check. All right. Can you guys see my screen now?
No.
Just try this again. I have to come back. It does. I'm sharing my screen now.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. No, it's gone again.
Good.
No, I've got Zoom up there.
Yeah, it's because I'm showing the Zoom screen. So I should be changing screen now. Better?
Yeah, we can see it now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Great stuff. Okay, had me right there. All right. Let me just present. It's good now. Can you guys see my screen? See management.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great stuff. Hi guys, as I mentioned, my name is Marshall Mehdi. I am the founder of SIP Management. Well, SIP Management, we're an intellectual property platform and market network. Our mission and our vision is to facilitate all the creation, protection, and monetization of intellectual property assets. Today is our platform. We want to provide easy and affordable IP management access to all. So what is intellectual property? Just to give a background for those of you that might not be well versed on the topic. So intellectual property is referred to the creation of the mind, such as invention, literary and artistic work. So we're talking about patent, copyright, trademark, design, and other type of work that individuals and company can create, and that has quite a lot of intangible value. So what's the problem? The problem currently in the UK and across the world is inefficiency within the IP market. So that efficiency is causing many companies and also individuals to lose value in terms of revenue streams and also capitalization value, because most of them, they don't really know how to manage the IP, and this tend to be due to low IP awareness and culture within those companies. And the market is quite fragmented in terms of services, and of course there are quite some high costs associated with the legal costs, especially in the UK. Another big issue nowadays due to digitalization, IP theft is also hindering the value that companies, individuals perceive in when they think about protecting IP. So those are the problems within the marketplace, and those are the problems that we're trying to solve. The way we're going about it is to create an amazing digital platform and community, which enable us to really resolve many of the pain points encountered within the IP markets. And of course, we're utilizing modern technology such as blockchain, and going to be utilizing some other tools in order to really enable people to be able to really manage the IP assets. So in terms of the current market solution within the IP market, we see two kind of market segment, both for individual and also companies. And we're looking mainly at the innovation management segment and at the intellectual property management segment. So thinking about innovation management segment, it tends to be software that most big companies use to source innovation within the ranks. So imagine a big corporation with thousands of employees across many countries. And of course, they're going to use innovation management tools to be able to manage the R&D development that they might have, the idea that might come out, they might crowdsource from the staff. And in terms of intellectual property management software, well, they're usually used by companies, big companies and legal firms and big corporations to manage the process of both filing and, of course, keeping track of the costs involved with developing the intellectual property assets. So what we have right now in the market is two segments that mainly serve corporation, and of course the merit and not really created to meet the needs of the SMEs or individuals. The world where more and more people are creating, and creation and IP becomes more and more valuable for both companies and individuals. So in terms of global opportunity, the IP market is growing. There's more and more assets, intangible assets in IP assets being created. There's more and more people on the planet, more and more innovation being created. And once again, the main market participants are mainly legal firms. Legal firms look after the IP of all the companies. You know, if you're a company, you have some IP asset that you need to look after. the first person you will contact will be a legal despair, so they can file those IP for you. And the software market, which is once again used by either the big corporation or either the legal firms, that's the software market is expected to grow as there's more and more asset being created. 271 billion 2017, up from 220 from 2014. Total IP trade global estimated globally. In the UK market, the UK spend about 133 billion pounds annually on intangible assets. From that, of course, that money is spent between innovation management and also IP management. 70 billion is rated to IP management, from which 25 billion is spent on copyright management. So that's the market that we think we're going to be able to capture, that market where now, especially for the copyrights, because of the technology that we have and because of the platform that we're building. So competition, looking at the market, and right now the market is broken down into two main segments: innovation management and IP management. What we have is also the new companies such as ourselves that are using blockchain technology to further enable better IP management. And once again, our main USP is that we're not just providing the blockchain, we're utilizing the blockchain to create a better environment where people can actually manage the IP on the long term. And this is kind of the main USP that we have. We're using that piece of technology with all the piece of technology just to enable, to bring in the IP management to make it a lot easier and affordable for everybody. So our growth strategy has been so far for the last 2 years, strategic partnerships. We partner with quite a few creative industry groups, both here in the UK, but also in Africa, where there's also a big market because, of course, there's no IP management services at all. And for the last 2 years, we spend most of our time educating our community, creating an online community, a platform of mainly IP creators. And so company SMEs that have good IP, so we tell them to come to our platform, to teach them more about IP. We create a lot of content, and that content, whenever people read our content, they're attracted to our platform, and that's how we get subscribers. So far, we have a growing community we have 50 subscribers, and most of them, they're companies with very good IP, and some of them are also creative, and we're getting quite a lot of subscribers. On a weekly basis, we get about 1 to 2 new subscribers on our platform. At the same time, we also have a mini IP service provider. We started speaking to some of them a couple of years ago. They were not quite interested, but back about 3 weeks ago when we added our marketplace, some of them, they're very happy, and then they actually signed up to our platform. So right now we have about 15 IP service provider, both around the UK, Africa, and then Eastern Europe and Asia as well, around India as well, that kind of right now on our platform, they're ready to service and all the IP owners that we have. And what we achieved so far, we built, of course, our prototype, both our community prototype, our platform, and our marketplace prototype. So the idea, once again, is that, okay, people will come to our platform, and through our platform, they will be able to easily manage and monetize all the IP assets. And said so, I'm going to give you, before I jump to our team, I'm just going to give you guys a quick overview of our platform. So what we're building, of course, a platform where anybody can come, sign in, create a user account, bring it to our platform, a person offering a service, or either you're a person looking for a service. And from that point, you can either go to add, describe first of all what type of company you are, and from then create like a project management plan when you can start adding all the users, all the service providers that you need. So this is kind of in a nutshell the wireframe that we have for our platform. I'm just scrolling through because it's quite intensive.
Marshall, I'm going to have to cut you out in about 30 seconds, so because we've gone on 9 minutes now.
Okay, perfect. Let me jump straight to the end. So our team, we have an amazing team with quite a lot of experience in both business development, sales, and tech development. We have already 3 advisors covering entrepreneurship, IP management, and also the creative industry. And what we're looking for right now is, last slide. looking to raise £85,000 for 12.5% of a company, mainly to develop our pre-seed, to get a pre-seed activity going on, to get more sales in and to further develop our platform. So that's about it. Thank you, guys.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. Just a quick question on the raise at the bottom there.
Yes.
Any CIS or?
Yeah, that's something that we're going to apply for. And we already checked that we do qualify, our company do qualify. So just a matter of us making application. Once again, we've been using the Legal platform.
Okay.
We started our company, so we've been using the platform for about 2 years now.
All right, excellent.
All our documents are on there, so for everyone to see.
Okay, great. Can you just stop sharing your screen then? And
right, stop sharing. Stuff.
Okay, lovely. It should be back. Where were we? My comments on the deck itself or in the presentation is it's too much information that's not relevant to the investor. They really the initial pitch needs to be 3 to 5 minutes absolute maximum, and that applies to everybody. You just want to get out. It's a sales pitch. It's not an explanation of everything. The pitch deck has to be sales orientated for anybody who's doing a pitch deck. Now, I'm not directing this at you, Marshall, but for everybody. If you're not sales orientated, find somebody who is to help you work on pitch decks. What you need in them, and it is keep it simple, straightforward. Obviously, my background sales, but basically, what you're doing, why you're doing it, i.e., perhaps problem solutions, how you're doing it or going to do it, who you are, what you're asking for, and what you're offering. The whole idea of an initial pitch is to get somebody hooked or interested in what you're doing. It's not to explain everything about it. In fact, the less you explain, the better. Because then you're going to get further information come out. People are going to request business plans, they'll request financials and such like. And then the sales process of getting the investor on board starts. So that would be my comments to everybody. Craig, have you got any particular comments to Marshall or?
Yeah, no, I'm on the same path as you there, Neil. It was too much information overload before we got to the crux of the matter. The money that was being sought and what it was used for. That was, yeah, you're spot on for there. Too much highlighting of the problem and the solutions, and not enough about what it's going to do and equate to in revenue. Would have been my points on it from there. Obviously, I think we did touch on some of this last week with Marshall as well.
Okay,
thanks. To reduce it, but it's more in that sense.
To me, the ideal pitch. To me, the ideal, and there's a couple of there's various chains of thought on this, and I'll share one with you in a minute, like the perfect pitch, which is 11 things that really need to be in it, but they don't have to be 11 slides. And again, my view is the shorter, the sweeter, to get people asking questions, especially when you're pitching live, because what happens at our events and such is you're going to then get questions. If you put out, this is what we're doing, why we're doing it, how we're doing it, etc., etc. People then are going to ask questions because you're not telling them anything really. You're getting an interest from them, and that's what you want to do. You want to get questions coming in saying, right, can you send me this? Can you give me more information on that? Can we do this? So that's the whole idea of a pitch. Yeah, is to do that.
Short and punchy. Just as an FYI for you, myself and Neil are investing in a company. I'm looking to invest in a company, and we've been going through the motions with. We had a chat with an IP lawyer, just tail end of the last week there, and looking at the presentation versus the conversations we had, it doesn't highlight the reason that we would have jumped over to your platform versus having that chat with the lawyer. If that makes sense.
Okay, we'll
Thank you,
move
sir.
on. Sorry, yeah, go on. Let's move on for now. Abdullahi, is that correct? Have I spelt or pronounced your name correctly?
Yeah, it's Abdullah.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Right. I'll let you introduce yourself and carry on and say, ideally, we're looking at 3 to 5 minutes, pitchy, punchy,
Okay.
and
Yeah,
practice.
okay.
So it's just here for
So,
comments and everything else.
okay, my name is Abdullah from Nigeria, Energize Consult. So let me just okay, so we're a consulting firm. So we're trying to solve hospital problems like bed space problems. Hello, yeah, can you hear me now? So
yeah, we can hear you. It's fine.
Yeah, so we're trying to solve bed space problem in hospitals in Nigeria. Because basically most hospitals they don't have enough bed spaces to cater for patients. So it's a very huge problem. Like sometimes they reject patients and some die and some spend hours on the queue just to get a bed space. So this is a Lagos University Teaching Hospital. This is a federal hospital. This is an example of their daily statistics. They get up to 60 to 65 patients daily, but they were just able to they're able to admit just 20 daily. So we are trying to build to use used shipping containers to build like bed space. The shipping container is the 20 foot. It can be insulated and build like a proper housing. So we are trying to construct 6 for each hospitals, and it will reduce the construction time and cost by 75% and 60% respectively. So this will provide enough bed space for hospitals to admit more patients and generate more revenue. Because okay, let me just hospitals lose half of their potential revenue when they reject patients due to the bed space. And sometimes I've seen this before. Patients spend like 45 minutes to 4 hours on the queue before they have to wait for maybe a patient dies or a patient gets transferred to I don't know, maybe a ward or for surgery or something. So, and sometimes too, patients on critical life support lose their life because of the power in the hospital. And another one is patients are turned away or from accessing the emergency services due to lack of bed space, which is very common in all the 36 states in the country. So those shipping containers will be built. They cost around 450,000 naira to purchase, and they are going to be powered with solar. It is a renewable energy. Okay, of course, we all know solar. So it is cheaper and more affordable to use, and the power can last 24 hours a day, which will stop the sudden loss of power or anything of sort in the hospital. So our target market, we are targeting 44% of the federal hospitals. That's 15 federal government hospitals, while 9 state hospitals and 10 private hospitals. This hospital has been selected because they are always overcrowded and they lack the bed space to cater for the patients coming in. So we've targeted these hospitals. These are the states in which those hospitals are. The yellow marked states, that's 16 states, which we've selected and targeted. So the revenue, we are daily 3,000 naira daily rent revenue with we are using 5 containers, so it is 3,000 naira daily, so that's 450,000 a month, so that's 5,400,000 in a year for the revenue. And the expenses to build, to purchase, and to reconstruct and to power this container will cost 5.6 million naira for the whole for the 5 containers in one hospitals, because in each hospitals we are targeting 5 containers. So that's 5.6 million naira for the expenses, and that's just a one-time expense. So like you said, it should be short and simple. I don't know if there's any question.
Yes, sorry, my initial comment would be, if you're looking at international investors or any UK investors or anyone, the figures would have to have some sort of conversion, so we know what the amounts you're talking about are.
That's 14,200 pounds for 5 containers in one hospital. That's 14,200 pounds.
Right. Okay. And where's the company? So you're looking to raise for a company where, in Nigeria, or have you got a UK arm, or?
We're targeting Nigeria for now, because well, I don't know if we are still looking at international investors, but we're just trying to get local investors.
All right, lovely. Okay, any comments, Craig, or you?
Yeah, I wasn't. I don't know. I might have missed it, but I wasn't clear if you were intended to sell the containers to the hospitals, or if you were going to own and operate them as part of the extension to the hospital.
No, we are we are the one constructing the container, so it's we are just renting it. It will be like a form of a PPP in the government hospitals, so it will be like public-private and partnership, like sometimes 20 years agreement. So for the state and the private, it will just be an agreement. So we own the container and we'll be paying rent on it.
If that is the case, do you have any soft agreements or agreements in principle with the hospitals that they will let you use this space, and you can have, and they will rent from you in principle? Because if you can have some form of that, then it's a lot easier to acquire financing.
It's the problem for them we're trying to solve. They are losing patients, they are losing revenue, so we are just trying to solve a problem which we think they'll also buy into the idea, because it's a win-win for everybody. They get their lost patient and revenue back, and we also get to to get revenue from it. So we are trying to solve a problem which I think the reason they haven't built something is because of they don't have the capital or something to construct more emergency wards.
I get that, but it's quite a straightforward conversation. If we build this, will you rent at X? And if they're going to rent the space from you, so we will finance and build it based on a 25-year term contract. So if you have that provisional agreement, then you can do two things. You only have to raise, say, 30% of the equity required for the containers, and the rest can be debt financed from the bank. So your finance equation changes completely. Without any of those agreements, it's just a concept, right? So you need a sort of agreement in principle. If you were to build these containers to specific specifications, would they rent it from you? And if yes, on that basis, then you're only looking for 50% of the finance versus 70%. That makes sense.
We know, but that can work too.
It's the most logical way of proving your concept, right? Because if they accept, then you've got the clients for sure.
Yeah.
So then it's an easier thing across the board. That was basically it for me.
Yeah, I think that can work too. So I think I just don't work an agreement with the hospital or something.
It's definitely help. Definitely help.
Okay, thanks very much. Right, we're going to close up now, unless anybody else wants to have a chat. I'm not sure. I think we've done quite a few now. As I say, we've got. I put my Oh, okay, Ziv. Where are you, sir?
I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, I'll let you carry on.
Yeah, for 5 minutes.
Yes, please. Yeah, no longer.
All right. It's the end of the day. I'll try to make it brief. Okay. Okay. Can you see the presentation? Hello?
Yes, you can. Yeah, I've got it.
Okay. So hi everyone, I'm Ziv. I just wanted to start by sharing a short story. A few years ago, I graduated from one of the top universities in Tel Aviv, Israel, and I was sure that employers are waiting in line to hire me. But it turns out that there was one factor that was missing, and that is the experience. And employers wanted me to have experience in the job, but I didn't have experience and I couldn't get employed because I didn't have this experience. This is what I call the experience paradox. It's a cycle of work experience that a lot of graduates find themselves with no actual opportunities to gain experience. Now, there is a great way of getting experience, which is internships. But unfortunately, not all graduates can support an internships while working and studying a lot because of unequal opportunities, cultural differences, financial state. So I've been trying to find a solution for these kind of things. We have here some information about internships. We have 2.3 million students in the UK and only 100,000 internships opportunities a year. Only 11,000 internships are advertised online and 50% of internships are unpaid. In fact, 44% of graduates can't define their career goals after graduations. So for this reason, we came up, sorry for that. For this reason, we came up with what we call micro internships. So Tulugar is a platform that facilitates micro internship. Micro internship is a task-oriented project or task that can be done for a company. And career seekers can take part in real-world work. They can do this micro internships for 2 or 3 days or even a few hours. And by that, they can discover industries and companies they may have desire to work for, gain relevant experience, improve their professional skills, and also do it while studying and not just summer internships, and also get paid. So we created this platform, which is Tulugar. The platform facilitates these kind of micro internships. It offers remote work, fair payment, open communication with employers, and a real opportunity to get ahead in life and gain this experience and increase their CV. Employers can extend their workforce capabilities, run a progressive internship that fits their work demand, and reduce HR cost and effort. We're creating a platform that actually gives an opportunity to have a professional date and experience these kind of work relationship before you even engage in a real job. If the employer is satisfied, he can continue with the interns or the prospects. And if he's not satisfied, he could always use more prospects and give opportunities for more people. So the platform could match skills, fields, interests, and experience with industry demands. It can manage work within the platform and share professional knowledge. We want to escort our interns, our prospects during this whole process. We were also would give them guidelines and professional advice during their internships in order to promote their careers in the future. We have a whole system of rating and feedbacks that prospects could actually know where they stand and what is their value. We know that now it's an interesting time and everyone are experiencing a lot of changes in this world with COVID and everything that is happening now with unequal rights in the States, and we want to promote this diversity. We want to promote social mobility. We want to allow remote work to actually give tools for these kind of interns. So these are key topics that we've been talking about for a year and a half now, and now the world is starting to change and embrace these kind of new solutions. This is our growth model. We plan on starting from London with collaboration with the universities here, go ahead and to other university cities in the UK, and after that, start doing micro internships in Europe, non-English countries, and Israel. We have conducted research and received an Edward, which is an award by the Educate Accelerator that belongs to the UCL and the European Union. This is our team. These are our CTOs. This is me. This is Robert, our head developer, and Meili, our designer. This is our advice team. David Farrow is an associate professor from the London Business School. Kobe is Educate UCL mentor. This is our revenue growth model. We have 4 different revenue engines, hourly fee rate. We have a successful fee because we know that success in this kind of cases with unexperienced work could be a major hazard. So we want to guarantee that we could provide the best work for these companies. Later on, we will discover talents within our own platform, and we could do a premium membership. And of course, the 4th revenue model is an advertising relevant content for employers, for employees, for career seekers. Okay, we have a gradual growth plan that matches each revenue engine. This is our revenue forecast. We are raising £150,000, and we could break even within 2 years. This is what we've managed to do so far. We've been part of the Educate program. We've conducted extensive research with team leaders and startup CEOs. We've launched 7 successful micro internships as our proof of concept, and it works, and everybody are really satisfied. We have an MVP now, and we're working all the time on developing it further, and we plan an extensive pilot trail with a leading UK university that was supposed to happen last month, but obviously COVID changed things a little bit, but it will happen in the future. We are SEIS eligible, and we tend to use this investment to run an extensive marketing campaign with the business development and administration. 30% will go on the knowledge management system. We want to implement guidelines and professional knowledge to make these micro internships as successful as we can, and 20% will go for extra product development. So thank you very much. We would like to speak to investors who want to be part of the Tulugar story, and this is where you can contact us. Thank you.
Ziv, thanks very much. Again, my question would be, you're raising 150. What are you offering in the way of equity or?
So we've been thinking about 10% for 150,000.
10% for 150. Okay. Right, we're running a bit short on time now. Thanks. Can you just stop sharing your screen?
Yes, of course.
Thanks a lot. This is quick. Right, it's just, yeah, thanks, Robin. I'll catch up with you soon. Just a quick question from Deborah. I've attended one of the workshops before. You mentioned you have two different pitch decks, one short, one long. Can you explain what information should be included in the long one and what's the main difference? We come around to the part at the end. Right, in theory, you should have 3, well, not 3 pitch decks, but a teaser, 1 page, which basically just smacks straight into what you're doing, just to generate some excitement, not even mention the name of the company probably. If you look at investment banking 1-page teasers, it will say the company is so this is what it's doing, blah, blah, blah. It won't mention even your name. The second one should be the short deck, which is your 5-10 slides, 3-5 minutes, will still go on what you're doing, why you're doing it, how you're going to do it, who you are, what you're offering, and what you're asking. As simple as that. Don't try and. The problem with founders and entrepreneurs is when they pitch, and this is directed at everybody, is they're trying to put out too much information because they're very passionate about what they're doing, to people who don't want to know that. Yeah, you're talking to investors here. You're trying to sell a concept. Yeah, I went to a major investment do in London last year when they had like 2 minutes to pitch. A guy got up on stage and said, "I'd like to thank so and so for his great pitch on this, that, and the other that he's just done. I found it very interesting. This blah 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 blah." The guy then who was holding the event said, "You've got 30 seconds left." By then, he hadn't even said anything about his own company. So it just gives you an idea of what investors are looking for on there. To go on from that, your long pitch deck should basically mirror what's in your business plan. So all your financials and everything else. Yeah, it's more or less a pretty looking version of your business plan. So start with your business plan. You can pick out the best bits for your short deck, and then your long deck is basically the graphic designed version of your business plan. So I hope that answers your question there, Deborah.
Just to give Zev a bit of feedback, additional feedback as well. I thought his pitch was good. It covered a lot of good content, and a very good concept. I know it's worked well in the Middle East here for several models. What I would say is you never really covered, or it wasn't clear to me, is how you were going to get the companies on board. I'm sure there'll be lots of potential interns looking for opportunities, and that won't be the hard part. But getting the companies on board to sign up and give those guys the opportunities, for me as a potential investor, that would be a key component as to how you're going to solve that.
Okay, so you're absolutely right that the students' side is the easy part, especially nowadays. A lot of students, and I'm talking about thousands of students, are sitting home and waiting for opportunities. I think that companies are more open to these kind of, let's say, experimental recruitment and remote work. We're gonna start gradually. Our low-hanging fruits are the small startups that can't really afford the full internship scheme at the moment. And our goal is to reach like 50 to 100 companies like that one. We have companies that are already interested in. I've been running these kind of micro internships by my own, waiting for the platform to be completed. So now I have at least 5 startup companies that are waiting for help. We have certain fields that are required all the time, which is data analysis, digital marketing, etc. We have also another scheme. I mentioned non-English speaking countries. I started another project within this project, which is connecting English speaking students in the UK to non-English speaking companies, like in Israel, which is the startup nation basically, and you have a lot of companies that are looking for quality content writing, which is one thing. We work with different startup networks, what was until not so long ago co-working spaces, and we are definitely here to also tailor our offer with every company. So I think that this is the main progress, and once this will start working, we could start thinking about running extended schemes with corporate companies.
So again, yeah, like that's you try and condense all of that and get it in one slide.
Yeah.
So that when you're coming across it, it comes across clear to everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks very much, Jeff. Right. Well, thank you everybody for turning up today. We look forward to seeing you hopefully at our capital raising workshop. Give you an idea of. Yeah. Thanks, Mike. I'll drop you a separate email. Yeah. We need to catch up anyway. Thanks a lot, Mike. And again, have a good afternoon or evening, wherever you may be. And we look forward to seeing you again at our next events. Thanks very much indeed. Cheers.